Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight here on Health Quest. I'm Randy Gardner, and with the overwhelming response to our last show on back pain, well, we decided to do another show on the epidemic that faces almost half of working Americans on a daily basis. As you know, back pain is one of the most common reasons for missed work, and in fact, back pain is the second most common reasons for visits to the doctor's office, outnumbered only by upper respiratory infections. Now, Americans spend at least $50 billion each year on back pain, and that's just for the more easily identified cause. Now, experts estimate that as many as 80% of the population will experience a back problem at some time in their lifetime. And tonight we'll take a look at the causes of back pain and give you some helpful hints to keep from being just another stat from Dr. Rob Elder, and that's next here on Health Quest. And welcome back to Health Quest. I'm Randy Gardner. As we mentioned before, joining us now, Dr. Rob Elder. Glad you could join us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me here.
Always a great time when you're on the show. Everybody learns so much, and you know, once we have a chiropractor on, we got to bring them back because we got to learn more. And I know you went back to school because what you know at one point is never enough day after day. You can always learn something new.
That's right. Yeah, there's always new things we can learn to help patients because the environment changes in healthcare, so we have to keep up to date with the trends that are happening.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what a chiropractor does, because when you throw that word out there, most people think, okay, well, I come in there and I get my back cracked, and that's it. Yeah. But there's so much more to this.
There is, yeah. We don't use that word because cracking sounds so bad. We adjust the spine.
There you go.
But yeah, there is so much more than just adjusting the spine. We have to look at nutritional aspects of a patient. You know, anything we can do to help that patient, not just adjusting their spine, exercising the spine to help create strength. We need to look at all aspects.
In terms of what you do, this is not just a one-time in, you're fixed, you're out the door. Once you hurt your back, this is almost like a lifelong commitment to take care of that back.
Once you injure the spine, you do affect the integrity of it. But one thing that has bothered me, and the reason I went back to school, is because it seems like it takes longer and longer to get patients stabilized than it used to when I started practice almost 20 years ago. That's kind of scary. It's been 20 years almost. So that's why I went back to school, to learn more about the nutritional aspects of health. So my goal is, as we can help people with their nutrition and get them on a sensible, reasonable diet and really teach them what food is versus products. Most people eat products, macaroni and cheese, things like that. That's going to destroy their health, which can prolong a back issue or some other health issue. So if I can approach it from another aspect, maybe those visits will become less.
When you talk about you know, bad eating habits, you look at maybe 75–80% of Americans eat like crap every day. You know, I mean, they really do, because it's an instant gratification world. People just get kind of thrown into that with the kids and the busy schedules. What are maybe some recommendations on, you know, packing a lunch, making it one night, maybe on Sunday night, for the whole week? Just simple things like that.
Yeah, that's a great question, because one thing I teach my patients is you don't have to eat perfect right off the bat. If you're eating McDonald's and Burger King and stopping a Quick Trip for lunch and getting a big soda for breakfast, you know, we can't take a patient that eats like that and immediately transform them into, you know, an organic guru. You can't do that. That's a great way to fail on a patient. So we teach small steps. Make a big dinner so you have some left over for the next day for some healthy snacks, but try to eat as organic as you can afford and stay away from processed foods. Anything that's in a package, anything that's not live, you really should try to stay away from. So unfortunately, donuts aren't live. So stay away from the donuts.
Oh man, I thought the donuts I ate this morning had little legs on them. They walked right into my hand and right into my mouth. You know, I'm telling you, the sad thing is that, and I know a lot of people are out there going, you know, that sounds great, and I'm the same way. It sounds great. I'll do it for a couple of days, and then boom, I fall right back in the. How do you get past that hump? I mean, what do you tell yourself? I do the same thing with exercise. 2-3 weeks, I'm out running. I get up to maybe 3-4 miles, feeling great, and then I just stop, and 6 months later, I'm big fat Randy again.
Yeah. We work with patients on gradients. So if you're starting at point A, don't try to get to point Z. Try to get to point B. So if I've got a patient, this is a true story, true case I'm dealing with right now, 15 Mountain Dews a day, he was drinking. So the greatest way for me to drive that patient out of my office is to say, stop drinking Mountain Dew. So what I asked him was, can you do 14? He said, yeah, I can do 14. And then 13. Now he's doing 2. Now that's still 2 too many, but he's doing fine. So as long as we see an improvement in that patient and they're comfortable with it, when a patient or an individual doesn't feel comfortable and they stop doing something that was healthy for them, they went too far too fast. So find out, okay, where was I comfortable? Back up a little bit. Let's say you were running 5 miles and just got to be too much, go back to 3 miles and then get back into that. And you'll find that you'll keep progressing day by day that way and you won't stop.
I really feel comfortable sitting on the couch watching TV.
Eating donuts. Yeah, and unfortunately the marketing industry as well has marketed packaged products to us as food. Things like Nutri-Grain bars, and I hate to name products, but anything, like I said, that comes in a box is not a food. And so these are processed wheat products with a lot of sugar. Fruit chews, that's mainly sugar. It's high fructose corn syrup, lots of food colorings, lots of sugar. So it's really something we got to watch, especially with our kids. Kids nowadays are being put on medications for cholesterol. That's crazy to me. Get back to a basic diet.
Now, when you talk about these organic foods, kind of break down some of the things that are good for you, that you can eat as a meal for all 3 of your meals, and then eat as a snack, because that's where a lot of people also fall off.
Right. Well, if people eat eggs for breakfast, well, instead of eating commercial eggs, try to get organic eggs. There's a great website you can look at. It's called WestonAPrice.org, and there is a link on there. It says real milk, and there's a link to where you can actually get organic farmers' products. Chicken, beef, milk, eggs, all organic. So if you can start with that and just switch the products you're eating now to more organic. So instead of eating wheat bread from the store, get organic wheat bread. Things like Ezekiel bread, that's a good bread.
All right, to kind of take a step back, for the people who don't understand, including maybe myself a little bit here, organic, break that word down for us. Organic
means that the farmer has chosen to raise his cattle or his chickens or grow his crops without pesticides, herbicides, growth hormones, any kind of alteration of the natural product. It takes 3 years for an organic farm to be classified as that. And so, and that's a lot of what we use in our office too, is whole food organic nutritional products to help the body heal.
So in terms of, like your fruits and vegetable, these are organic too?
Well,
like
they can
strawberries, things like that?
Great question. Just because it's a fruit doesn't mean it's organic. You've got to buy, it has to be labeled organic. One of the highest concentrations of pesticides are things like strawberries and your berries, blackberries, raspberries. So you really want to go with organic on those. If you can only afford certain things organic, definitely dairy. Try to get unpasteurized dairy if you can come across that. It's kind of hard to find. But your fruits, big time. Make sure you're eating organic fruits and especially meats.
As we talk about this, is this a requirement? I mean, are you going to live longer doing this, or is it just make you a more healthy person? Because now you have the fear in me that I'm going to die tomorrow because I eat a lot of strawberries and bagged foods.
Right. Well, there's no way for anybody to say, okay, you're going to live this long if you eat this way. You're going to live this long if you eat this way. I think it's common sense that if we put what we call genuine replacement parts into our body, things like good fruits and vegetables and meats to help our body heal, versus McDonald's. I mean, common sense. Do you think you're going to live longer eating McDonald's or eating a good, wholesome meal?
It's understandable.
Yeah, and it's quality of life too. It's not just about quantity, it's about quality of life. One of my patients, she's 93 years old, and she's very clean, and she's amazing. Versus I got patients that are in their 40s that are falling apart. And you look at their diet, it goes back to diet. So we got to make a change, especially with our kids.
How important is it to get out and do that daily exercise, whether it's just 5 minutes of going out and walking? What does that do for the body, especially the back?
Well, it helps to cleanse the body of impurities, because when we sweat, we're getting rid of toxins. You are working the core stabilizer muscles. You're going to work just the cardiovascular system in general. There have been days with my busy schedule that it takes me longer to drive to the gym and back and take my shower than it did to work out. So if I can get to the gym for even 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to do it. You don't have to work out every day. Even 3 days a week has been shown to increase longevity in individuals. So 3 times a week, 15, 20 minutes a day is really all it takes.
With the balance of eating well and working out, do they have to go hand in hand?